Now, hi everybody, my name is David Jones, and I'm 18 years old, and I'm about to show you a Spider-Man suit showcase video. Let's get started. So, first we have the advanced suit with the suit power of battle focus, and that's only the first suit. And so we have many suit powers for almost every available suit, but none of them have any suit powers. Like this one has no associated suit power. Like if we put on this one, this one is the classic suit damaged. And so the next one we have repaired classic suit, which comes with the power of web blossom. And here's what it looks like in game. And if you press L3, R3, which is right on these two buttons right here, you see them right here? And so yeah, that's what triggers that. Okay, so the next suit power and suit, the Noir suit, which is Spider-Man from the past, comes out with the suit power Sound of Silence, where, hint this, it's actually interesting. It gets interesting in this part. Enemies no longer call for backup when alerted. Now that can be pretty useful sometimes. And now, onto the Scarlet Spider suit, which, in hint, this case, Ben Reilly. Which Ben Reilly got his name from Ben Parker's name, Peter Parker's uncle. And so this suit power allows Peter to duplicate into 3 hollow decoys, multiple hollow decoys. Let's just say that. So the next suit and suit power, the Spider Armor Mark II suit, comes with the power of bulletproof. So it magnetically polarized armor plating makes the suit temporarily bulletproof against all enemies, even snipers. So that can be pretty useful sometimes in battle. Oh, whoops, hold on. Yeah, that was a mistake. So the next suit power, Arms Race, comes with the suit Secret War, which in hint, this case is from the Secret War storyline, and this is what it looks like in game. So yeah, that's the Secret War suit with the power of Arms Race, and yes, and if you press L3, R3, it discharges amplified EMP buildup to stun enemies and disable their weapons. So yeah, the next suit and suit power comes with the Stark suit and the Spider Bro. Calls in a Spider Bro to temporarily aid in combat, which automatically aids Spider-Man in combat, as it said right there in the description right there. So yeah, that's the Stark suit that was shown in Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Avengers Infinity War. Now, moving on to the negative suit, which I think looks a little bit off the top, but not that much of a whatever. Anyway, it comes with the power of negative shockwave, and it synchronizes nanomesh particles to unleash a devastating wave of negative energy. So that can be pretty useful sometimes. And so, now, on to the electricity insulated suit, which it has the suit power Electric Punch. And so yeah, that's the electricity insulated suit. Now, moving on to the Spider-Punk suit, which comes with the power of Rock Out. And get this, blasts enemies with waves of righteous sound. So that can become pretty useful in times of need. And now, the wrestler suit comes with the suit power King of the Ring. Web throw enemies without having to web them up. So that can be pretty useful sometimes as well. And now, the Fear Itself suit comes with quad damage, excessive muscular, temporarily deals massive damage. So that's the Fear Itself suit. Now, moving on to the Stealth Big Time suit, which in this case looks exponentially cool. In this form, that is, though. And it comes with the power of Blur Projector. And get this, create a distortion field that can absorb you from non-alerted enemies' vision. So that can be pretty useful sometimes. Now, moving on to the Spider Armor Mark III suit, which this allows you with titanium alloy plates. Spider-Man has dynamic, semi-liquid, smart metal crystallizes to reflect all bullets except for sniper rounds back at shooters. So that can be pretty a handful sometimes. And so, moving on to the Spider-Man 2099 black suit. Don't know why it's called the black suit. It doesn't look black. It looks blue. Why not put blue suit? Oh, maybe because they wanted to put black suit. So, with low gravity, you can decrease gravity while in the air. So that can be pretty useful sometimes as well. And moving on to the Iron Spider suit, which we saw in Avengers Infinity War, and Spider-Man Homecoming when Tony showed Peter the Iron Spider suit for the first time, but didn't take it. Go figures, he would have taken it in Avengers Infinity War. And so yeah, the Iron Arms, get this, wreaks havoc with 4 articulated arms made from rapidly grown monoatomic iron alloy crystal. So that could be pretty helpful. And now, moving on to the Velocity suit, which not really, not really intrigued me that much, but still a decent suit. And I love how they did the green on the eyes. That intrigued me a lot. And now, moving on to the Spider Armor Mark IV suit, which in this case, Spider Armor Mark I is down with the DLC, so to speak. And for this one, the Spider Armor Mark IV suit has also got a suit power of Defense Shield. Experimental magnetic wave generates an energy shield that temporarily absorbs all damage. So that can be pretty helpful sometimes, though. Now, moving on to the Spirit Spider, we have Spirit Fire, where it channels unstoppable waves of damaging ethereal energy from somewhere. Now, moving on to the Spider-Man 2099 white suit, we have Concussion Strike, which that can be pretty helpful sometimes. A lot. Ventilated concussive technology temporarily sends enemies flying with every attack. Which, don't get me started on this one. The vintage comic book suit comes with the power of quips. Which, don't even get me started on that one. That one's just a ball of crap. Insult your enemy's pride, which didn't intrigue me that much. Now, moving on to the last stand suit, we have Unrelenting Fury, which can, get this, enemies cannot block or interrupt your attacks, even if they have shields. Which that can be pretty helpful sometimes. And don't get me started on this one. This one is just a ball of crap. It has the power of Equalizer, which kind of sucks, by the way. Everyone goes down in one hit, including you, which kind of sucks, by the way. Now the next one, the homemade suit, we saw in non-Avengers Infinity War. We saw it in Spider-Man Homecoming and Captain America Civil War. And that one has no associated suit power, but with. Now, moving on to the Anti-Arc suit, which has the power of resupply. And here's what it does. Disturbed nanomesh constantly refills current gadgets shots, which that can be pretty helpful sometimes. And now the dark suit has, and now these last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, these last 13 suits have no associated suit power. Same goes for the classic suit Damaged and the homemade suit, which for this one has no associated suit power. And this one has no associated suit power. So that counts 13. Which, this is the dark suit, which I know nothing about, but looks insanely cool with the spider on his chest and the back. And now, moving on to the Resilience suit, which I know somewhat stuff about it, but came straight from the comics. Don't know if it was in a movie or not, but still. Now moving on to the Spider UK suit, which it kind of intrigued me a little bit to see a British Spider-Man come into an American Spider-Man game. What kind of intrigued me a lot, by the way, but still. Pretty decent suit, no associated suit power. Solid. And now moving on to the second Scarlet Spider suit, which it looks pretty insanely cool in-game. And so you got the black spider on the chest, and you got the red spider on the back, which I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, that's the second Scarlet Spider suit. And now we have the Spider Armor Mark 1 suit. See, as I may have told you guys, this was in the Heist, I think it was? Yes, the Heist. No. Yes. Maybe? I'm not sure. Now, yes, it was in the Heist DLC. Never mind. Yes, the Spider Armor Mark 1 was in the Heist DLC. And as you may have noticed, was in the original Spider-Verse. The original. The 1940s one. When, you know. And so, moving on, we have the original Iron Spider suit, which we saw in the series of Ultimate Spider-Man. Came on screen on Netflix 2012 to 2017. But decided not to do a fourth season about it, which kind of bummed me out a lot. But yeah, the Iron Spider armor. And so now, moving on to the Spider Clown suit, which little of you guys have known about this suit, but this was in the Spider-Man Unlimited mobile device game. And so yeah, that's a little bit about that suit. So, next suit up. We got the Aaron Aikman armor. Too many armors in this game for some odd reason. I don't know why, but I wouldn't worry. But still, yeah, the Aaron Aikman armor has no associated suit power. Like I said, most of these suits don't have associated suit power, like the classic suit Damaged, or the homemade suit from Spider-Man Homecoming. So yeah. And on to the next suit, where we got the Cyborg Spider-Man suit, which looks, I don't know, with the utility belt and everything, kind of seems kind of Batman-ish. But Spider-Man usually doesn't wear a utility belt in Spider-Man games, but this one's the way to go. And the next suit, we already saw the movie, the Into the Spider-Verse suit, which looks kind of normal, but not on the legs, though. Like, look at that. They got lines on the legs, top to bottom. And so yeah, that's the Into the Spider-Verse suit. No. And now moving on to the original Spider-Man suit. The webbed suit is from the original Tobey Maguire series. Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 2.1, Spider-Man 3, and Spider-Man 3 Editor's Cut. And now, moving on to the last two suits, we have the Bombastic Bagman.
Bombastic!
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 Stop.
It's tastic, not fastic. It's tastic.
Bombastic Bagman. There.
There we go.
You happy now?
Yes.
Fine. Stop interrupting my video.
Sorry.
Bombastic Bagman. There, I said it. Okay. See, the Bombastic Bagman has the number 4 on his chest. Speaking of which, Fantastic Four, but let him use one of Johnny's old suits when, case in point, he didn't want to be part of the Fantastic Four anymore. So that's a tragic end, and he needed a bag, and he needed a mask to put over his face. But decided to wear a bag. How dumb is that? And now, moving on to the last and final suit, the Future Foundation suit. This suit was shown in the original Future Foundation storyline, which, don't get me wrong, it looks exponentially cool. I mean, look at the spider on his chest. And the back. I mean, they did great design flaws for this suit. And yes, all those suits I just showed you have no associated suit power. And yes, this is the last suit for this game. 39 suits total. And so yeah, that's the Spider-Man suit showcase for the Spider-Man 2018 Sony